Thanks for staying with us here on TVC Breakfast. It's now time to take a look at stories making headlines on Nigerian newspapers. And now joining me here in the studio is a public affairs analyst, Dr. Ojon. It's good to see you.
Good morning. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Yeah, good to see you.
All right, and political technocrat, Dr. Dayo, Kayode, it's good to see you.
Yeah,
Happy Easter.
Yeah, good morning. Happy Easter to our viewers and Ramadan Kareem to our Muslim brothers and sisters. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's take a look, peek into what the newspapers are reporting this morning. The Nation newspaper is the first with me here. Security architecture under reformation, says presidency. Security architecture under reformation, says presidency. First news, Easter, Nigeria was under President Buhari. That's according to Bishop Kuka. Nigeria was under President Buhari. Kuka blasts. Tribune, the Tribune says, Kuka to Buhari, Nigerians no longer recognize their country. Nigerians no longer recognize their country. Daily Times, Kuka to Buhari, you've destroyed Nigeria, divided citizens, says President's government in hibernation mode. Kuka to Buhari, Daily Times, you've destroyed Nigeria, divided citizens, says President's government in hibernation mode. This Nigeria, Kuka to Buhari, you've destroyed Nigeria. That's them. This Nigeria also reporting the same thing here. You've destroyed Nigeria. That's Bishop Kuka to President Buhari. Daily Sun, 2023, that's the kicker. APC, NWC divided over minister's expected resignation. Battle shifts to Wednesday's NEC meeting. APC, NWC divided over ministers' expected resignation. Battle shift to Wednesday's NEC meeting. APC primaries. Tinubu, Osinbajo, Amechi, others scramble for 7,800 delegates. APC primaries. Tinubu, Osinbajo, Amechi, others scramble for 7,800 delegates. That's Daily Trust there. Punch newspaper is next. Presidency, PDP opts for indirect primaries. May prune 17 aspirants. Presidency, PDP opts for indirect primaries. May prune 17 aspirants. This day is next. Atiku, after 7 years of APC's incompetence, Nigeria needs Unifier. There's a political story there. After 7 years of APC's incompetence, Nigeria needs Unifier. That's according to This Day newspaper. Business AM, Easter meets Ramadan. High prices, 15.92% inflation. Nigeria spend 56% on food. Then the writer reads, analysts see more inflation squeezes ahead. High prices, 15.92% inflation. Nigeria spend 56% on food. That's according to Business AM. Guardian newspaper is next. Southwest Business. Ivory Towers sink under endemic power failure. Ivory Towers sink under endemic power failure, as well as the Southwest businesses. That's it there. Business Day is next. Big story. MTN Nigeria's banking operations seen boosting financial inclusion. MTN Nigeria's banking operations seen boosting financial inclusion. That's according to Business Day. The last but not the least, Blueprint, 20 years after ICJ's ruling on Bakassi. Language barrier stalls Badagry, boundary demarcation. Language barrier stalls boundary demarcation. That's according to Blueprint. The 20 years after ICJ's ruling on Bakassi, language barrier stalls boundary demarcation. Let's delve into what the newspaper is, really unanimous about this morning as we get. Let's start from Daily Times, which has Kuka to President Buhari. You've destroyed Nigeria, divided citizens, says President's government in hibernation mode. I'll start with you, Dr. Kayode. Well, the president also said that they are on top of the situation, according to one of the newspaper headlines, that they are working on reformation, security architecture under reformation, says presidency. How do you react to this?
Yes, when you want to judge the success or failure of anybody, there must be a criteria, okay? And when you're looking at the Constitution of Nigeria, the most important thing that is expected from the president is to ensure security and economic well-being of the people. Now, we got to look at the statement of Father Kuka and that of Oyedepo, because I saw it in one of the papers you were reviewing just now, whereby Oyedepo alluded to what Father Kuka said. Now, is it true what they have said? Is it true or not? Because when this government was coming in, campaigning then, I think in 2014, they were talking about ending insecurity. And people strongly believed in this president that yes, he should be able to tackle insecurity because of where he was coming from. All right? Not knowing that, we weren't going to get to anywhere. He was talking about, look, subsidy was a fluke. But see him now, even asking for more. I mean, he wrote a letter to the National Assembly, I think last week or so, asking them to increase petroleum subsidy to about 4 billion or so.
Trillion.
I mean, 4 trillion. So where are we heading to? Now, you see, over the weekend, I was reading something as regards how somebody we know, whether he or she is arrogant or not. And one of the factors stated there was that, look, when everybody is saying the same thing and you are not taking it, looking the other way, it's an exhibition of arrogance. And there is no how when you're exhibiting arrogance that one, you'll be able to solve the problem of Nigeria. Because all of us have been saying the same thing since all these days. What has he done? Look at him again, talking about changing the architecture changing security architecture. It's about changing security architecture or changing your own philosophy towards a security that we're all experiencing. The other time he was talking about changing of service chiefs. I said, no, it's not about changing of service chiefs. It's about walking the talk. It's not, I mean, when you say, look at the other time, we all remember when he has the Inspector General of Police then to move his headquarters, I think to Borno State. And the third day, the guy was saying, is it true I was asked to go to Borno State? And what happened to him? Nothing. So these are issues that the president needs to sit down and look at. Let me ask you, for a commander-in-chief of the armed forces who had been a military officer before, to be sitting in Abuja and some marauders will now be going to military formations, especially NDA, attacking that place, cutting away their arms and ammunition, abducting some people. Can I use that word? It is a shame on such a leader.
Well, the president said, the presidency rather, that they actually, on the security architecture, just like he also said, is under reformation. But then Nigeria Tribune reports that Nigerians no longer recognize their country. They used to recognize their country. And what point do you think Bishop Kuka was trying to make there?
This is not the Nigeria that God gave us. And this is not the Nigeria that our forefathers actually left for us. The Nigeria that nature gave us is one blessed with mineral resources. The one our forefathers left for us is the one that is blessed with human resource. The country I was born into, when they were preparing, I was born just few months before an election in Nigeria. What they were canvassing for those time was actually an ideal community that was unfortunately better than what we have today. They were conversing for something better than what they had. Unfortunately, the situation at that point is even better than what we have today. So I think it's right when you say you can no longer recognize your community. This is a country where we are talking about unemployment rate of 33-point-something%. That's scary. And when you talk about unemployment, people don't get to understand that we are not even talking about underemployment. We're in a country where we have encouraged our people to go to school, that once you get to school, when you come out of school, your life will be better. Yet, they've gone to school after being jammed by jam several times. They've been able to pick a first class, and they are back to their community where they have to be forced to teach in a private school to earn 25,000. That is not the kind of community we're talking about. Now, this is not the kind of Nigeria that we've all prayed for. It's not a Nigeria that you can no longer travel from where you are to where you want to go safely. I told you where I was as at evening yesterday. The question you were asking, oh, hope you didn't come by road, because, of course, it fears in the community. Now, our life expectancy is somewhere around 54 years. That's not the kind of community that we are conversing for. As we speak now, the national grid is either collapsing or falling. That's not the kind of Nigeria that we are looking out for. As we speak now, even our what's it called? The poverty rate, we saw in the newspaper now that about 56% is being spent on food. But I think the newspaper is just being mild with reality. I spend everything I make on food, so it's 100%.
Even
in fact,
enough?
It's not even enough, because we have to be calling friends and family to be able to. This is the reality in the community. I ask you, sir, can you recognize your country?
Well, maybe by nomenclature, by name, Nigeria, we know the geographical expression, we know how big it is. But then others have actually conveyed this kind of argument that it's probably, we are faced with this insecurity issue, you know, of this magnitude because of our diversity, because the fact that we have different religions, most Christian Muslims, sometimes they're not friendly. You go to the north, but then relatively friendly in the south. The fact that we see ourselves as, I am Yoruba, rather than seeing ourselves first as Nigerians, that this could probably have worsened our security situation in the country.
Now, you see, it's a pity that we have allowed the politicians to use some of this primordial thinking to affect our relationship. But there are a whole lot of us that strongly believe. Okay, look at when you were introducing me this morning. As I was greeting the Christians, so also I was greeting our Muslim brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Between you and me, I wake up early enough now to also join our Muslim brothers in prayers. I mean, on the television. You know, all those Muslim activities going on television.
Yeah.
I watch intently, not for watching sake, no, intently. Do you understand? But then, for anybody to now be ascribing insecurity, heightened insecurity in our country to differences in religion and where we come from and all that, I will not want to believe that, because it is not today that we have been living together. By the time the Muslims are doing their Ishinua now, I always participate. When they are doing their Ileya, I always participate. So tell me, where is that different? I mean, religious different. On my table, as I see my Bible, you also see my Quran. Because both the Bible and the Quran are saying virtually the same thing, only in names. Do you understand? Only in names. But it's so unfortunate that the so-called politicians, they have been trying as much as possible to use this primordial thinking to bring about some kind of dichotomy in between the people. And again, when you're also talking about heightened insecurity, you know, I've been saying it.
Yeah. And
I continue to say it. Not until when our politicians, especially this government, come out to apologize to Nigerians. I said, we are sorry for what we have done as regards insecurity. Listen, Madam Taraba had said it all. Listen, Baraje, the leader of New PDP, also said it all. The former CBN deputy governor also said it. So what are you talking about?
All right.
Okay, what are you talking about? We know, I mean, we are all witnesses to when somebody, a governor in this country, went as far as Chad to go and sort out the bandits. We remember how much he said he paid them. How did you know them? How did you know where they were? Where is this Muslim cleric? What's his name again? Gumi, that knows where these people are hibernating, that had been negotiating on their behalf. Why is it that those people that were captured were released back into the society? Who do you think they be loyal to? So these are issues, and that's why I said it is not only for the president to say he wants to change the security architecture. He himself must change his philosophy as regards insecurity in this country. To say, look, enough is enough. My country got to be secure. Right,
Dotun, let's see what the Business AM is reporting this morning. It says, Easter meets Ramadan. High prices, 15.92% inflation. Nigeria spend 56% on food, and the rider reads, analysts see more inflation squeezes ahead. Help us understand what this means for the man on the street.
It means, and I'm sorry, I'm not used to some of these words, but the reality is that it means hardship, serious hardship. And in a community like ours, you see, we are yet to actually build on our greatest resource, which is the number we have. When politician is going out, he's paying people to follow him because the power is in the number of the people. If you set up a religious center today, if you don't have people in there, you can't call it a church or a mosque. So it tells you the power in people. But this is a country that has over 200 or 200 million people, yet we are still trying to understand how to convert this human resource to financial resource that we need to actually bail ourselves out of poverty. The greatest challenge we have now is this mentality. It started as a mere street talk. You go to the street side university people, they say, oh, government does not have business in business. I don't know whether you remember that. Yeah. And gradually, we started killing sensitive aspect of our economy. Sir, there's no country that can actually move out of poverty if that company is not producing. We are a consuming nation. And with our population, we should be thinking towards the direction of production. Today, Naira is somewhere, I don't know whether it's 5 something against the dollar. That should not have been your business ordinarily. If your country reasonably is producing 70% of what we consume locally. Because you will not have any reason to be comparing your Naira with any other currency. Because the essence of comparison is because you import majority of what you use. So the danger in it is that because we are import dependent, we continue to roll in poverty because our Naira cannot sustain its ability in the exchange market. So what does that spare for us? It spares hardship to the point, the little things, sir. I call it little because I've seen my people refine oil locally. It's the same process they used to turn palm wine to ogogoro that they said is the same exact process. So when I have seen them do this, I've seen them practically convert what's it called crude to something reasonable. So for me, if a government is speaking grammar that is exporting, importing, and all this, I cannot relate because the reality is that we have talked so much about modular refinery and we're not doing anything about it. So our life as a people hangs in the hand of people who are not players in our community. Ordinary cocoa, we do not determine the price of cocoa. We do not determine the price. We cannot make chocolate. So what is it that we can make as a people? And we are thinkers, we are philosophers, we are people that have been celebrated across the world. So the role of government now, permit me to say, has even gone beyond, oh, we are tarring road to my community. The first thing we have to look like, because if you tar this road and your people are dead before you even complete it, what's the essence?
Who's going to work on it? All right.
The hardship in the community is so loud that we cannot but continue to talk about it. Unfortunately, there's a disconnect between the reality of what our people are facing and the life that their leaders are leading.
Right, Dr. Kayode, I wanted to weigh in on this and just a final thoughts. Because in recent weeks, Nigeria suffered incessant grid collapse, which disrupted electricity, and then the purchasing power actually people looked for alternative means of power supply. Is there a silver lining anywhere? Can you see any?
Yes, and yes. There is hope for we Nigerians. I will give you a statement. When it doesn't challenge you, it will never change you. Okay? When it doesn't challenge you, it will never change you. Yes, we are facing challenges. And look at this. When the caterpillar thought it was all over, lo, what happened? It turned into a colorful butterfly. I want to assure Nigerians this morning that as bad as it could be presently, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. How do I mean? You're going to see that our electioneering process, either we like it or not, has improved in terms of, yes, you can pick your phone now and then transmit the result from your polling unit. That behoves now on people to, one, get your PVC ready. Two, be ready to vote on a voting day. Three, be ready to stay for you to hear the result of that election and transmit it appropriately. By so doing, we now be able to have purposeful leadership in place. Yes, it might sound arduous, but then Rome was not built in a day. And 1,000 miles journey starts with a step. Nothing is impossible. It can only be difficult, but with our rationality, we will be able to overcome any obstacle that impossibility can bring in our on our roads.
Right, absolutely. Political technocrat, Dr. Dayo Kayode, and public affairs analyst, Dr. Ojon. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time this morning.
It's a pleasure.
Pleasure. A better Nigeria, it's going to be a better Nigeria at the end of the day. We just have to, take this season, take the opportunity of this season, and
as a challenging period.
Absolutely, pray to God and ensure that our country
not only
gets
pray to God, though. We have to work. Don't be sleeping in the church. It's not about sleeping in the church. You have to work. God, even in the Bible said, work and pray. Not pray and work. Work and pray.
Ora et labora, work and pray. That's actually what it means.